Willie D. Live.
What's up, family? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has a pastor. Yeah, fam, that's him right there. This guy is Doug Wilson. This guy is one of the worst. Talk about false prophets. Yeah, fam. This guy loves people so much. He wants to do God's work so much so that he wants to repeal women's rights to vote. But wait, there's more. This uncivilized mutt defended slavery. Yeah, fam. He thinks slavery was a good thing in that the white man and woman is supposed to be over black people, specifically black people. They're supposed to be over black people. You know, it's people like him who gave black folks the Bible to read and told them to only read this section of the Bible, because if you read this section of the Bible, the section that I read, maybe, just maybe, you're going to catch your snap and you'll come after me. Maybe you'll put me where I belong, in the ground. Yeah, fam. Yeah. Imagine if the people that were enslaved caught their snap on that Bible, because they used that Bible more than any vice. That Bible was effective. They used that Bible to make black people believe that they couldn't get heaven on earth. Hey, this is the best. Slavery is the best you're going to do. This getting whooped and beaten and eating crumbs, being violated in every way you can think of, being killed at the drop of a dime. If I feel like killing you, I kill you. Ain't nothing can be done about it. God ain't gonna even do nothing about it. They sold that. They sold black folks heaven, afterlife, while they had their heaven living their lives. Ooh, boy, they got us good, man. They got us good. And they're still getting a number of us right now. That uncivilized mutt told Leela Fidel, the woman you see right here who was interviewing him, that he don't want her to vote. If she was a Christian and a single mother, she could vote, but she has to be a Christian in order to vote. Otherwise, she cannot vote. Now this guy, this uncivilized mutt, considers himself a Christian nationalist. He's a Christian nationalist, which means that he believes that white people are the superior race, and he's teaching all of this stuff. See, fam, they've been teaching this. This is not a new phenomenon. They've been teaching this, but remember, back in the day, black folks wasn't allowed to go into the white church during slavery. Black folks had to go and worship in a little shack with just blacks, and a white person would come through there every now and then and eavesdrop. Well, he didn't have to eavesdrop. He just sit there and listen, make sure everything was cool, make sure that the pastor was leading his flock into a burning house. Yeah, right? That's what he did. Come through, make sure. And then he didn't have to always make sure he'd have a stooge. He'd make sure he'd put a black person in there that he'd give a few peanuts and, award him. That's the same type of black person that he would give a whip to whip black people. Yeah. So this is the type of beast that we're dealing with. This dude believes that he is somehow, some way, he's been ordained to have stewardship over other human beings' bodies and the way that they live their life. He thinks that he has some type of autonomy over everybody else's beliefs. Like, you got to believe what I believe or else you must die. or you must be exiled from this country. You got to go some kind of way. You must be jailed or whatever. So he tells Leela, he tells her that she can be a voter. She can vote, but only if she's a single mother and she's Christian. She says she's a Muslim. He said, well, you can't vote. You're a single mother and you're a Muslim, you can't vote. And this is what I want to know, fam. Can somebody make this make sense? In this country, not just in this country, but around the world, over the last few hundred years, last couple hundred years, in the last couple hundred years, American Christians, specifically American white Christians, are responsible for more death and destruction around the world than any single group. Point blank period, it ain't even close. And I'm not talking about some ancient crimes. I'm talking about crimes that persist to this day. They're still out killing, dropping bombs on sovereign nations. They're still executing leaders of other countries whose policies does not align with theirs. They're still doing it. They're still using law enforcement as weapons to destroy black bodies. They're still doing this. They're still giving breaks to people who have been accused of killing cops, giving them pardons. So if Christians, specifically white Christians, but Christians, period, let's just stick with the religion, not the race. But if Christians are responsible for all of this death and destruction, why is it that so many of us are afraid of people who are of other religions? At this rate, I would trust an atheist over a Christian. I'm just saying in general, generally speaking, because the people who have done the most damage to us as human beings around the globe have been Christians. I'm saying in the last few hundred years, it's Christians. So shouldn't they be selling us the idea of not being a Christian? Like, get away from Christianity, because that's where all the wicked and the evil people come from. That's where all of the people who have been destroying the world over the last couple hundred years come from. Christianity. They've been born into it, they raised into it, they sell it, they preach it, they teach it. Christianity. I'm just saying, like, if we look at the odds, right? Let me put it like this. If you had car A that constantly was giving you problems, car A runs off the rails. Car A catches a fire. Car A gets stuck in traffic. Car A runs hot. Car A has a clicking sound. It's always giving you problems. It's always giving you issues, right? And then you got car B. Car B, it ain't as flashy, ain't as fancy, but it's reliable. You got to be at work on time. Which car do you jump in? Do you jump into car A or do you jump into car B? Let me up the ante a little bit. Let me make it a little bit more interesting. You got to be to work on time. This is your last time being late. Which car you jump into? That's all I'm saying, fam. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not picking on Christians who live by the book, who got it right, who are righteous people. You know you are. You know deep down inside if you ain't shit, or you know if you're somebody. You know if you are abiding by that word for real, and you love thy neighbor for real, and you are walking with the light for real, I salute you and, have nothing but respect for you. But for the rest of you uncivilized mutts, I feel nothing. No more talk.